Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. On July 4th, 1962, I found myself in the lost and found of mankind. Just because something finds its way to the lost and found doesn't mean that it wants to be there. Just because something finds its way to the lost and found doesn't mean that the person who lost it doesn't care for that lost item.
You are writing moments that people will learn from, grow from, and heal through for thousands of years. Together, we are co-authoring a unique moment in time. That DNA, those fingerprints, they're going to be gone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But it is your story that they will tell for thousands of years. But only if you leave it. Things that do not serve you must go. The longer you wait, the more time you give them to trick you into serving them. 22 homes in foster care, everything I wore as a scar, as a shame, things that started like Velcro on my spirit. After just a few months, then years, then decades, I had believed myself into believing that they were indelible tattoos. Sometimes we have to be broken down to appreciate the view once we start getting up. I want you to leave this place and know that you have been changed. Why? How do I know it's true? Because each of you has just changed me.
Yep. And yet, I'm jumping around this morning, still channeling Louise Jefferson, clearly, that long COVID. But I'm feeling some kind of way today, y'all. How are you feeling? I look blurry to me on the screen. Now, first of all, I'm probably a little goofy today. I'm on a Benadryl buzz. Been there? Mm-hmm. Sure. It's supposed to be daytime. I don't know. I might have got it mixed up with the night one. Oops. I'm kidding. No, because I did that one day, and I was sitting in this chair 1 minute. It was like 9:30 in the morning. Then I woke up. It was 2 in the afternoon. Won't do that again. Anyway, how are you? Welcome to it's hump day. It's Wednesday. We're getting there, y'all. Headed towards that long end of summer holiday weekend. What you got planned? Are you staying home or are you going somewhere? Drop it in the comments. Inquiring minds, aka nosy people like me, want to know. So, what's that? It's the bell of truth, right? It's the bell of purpose. But I hit it because just like that bell has a ring to it, yeah, you guessed it, so does the truth. I know we're getting our content while we're doing multiple things nowadays, but we should never become so busy that we don't remind each other, a little elbow nudge, if you will, that some truth is out there, right? You might want to back the car up and take some of it with you. Can I get an amen? Okay. So anyway, you know who's here every day. She's been here, what now, Lucy? Six years, yeah. My sidekick. I call her my version of Ed McMahon because I'm manifesting big things. That's right. So this is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Welcome her to the show. So you all hear me say all the time that I'm not a big promoter of networking because I believe we should work the net, right? What I mean by that, but then I always say this. What I mean when I say that networking, true networking, is more than the clinking of cocktail glasses and the passing of business cards, right? It is an opportunity to build relationships that in many cases, at least in my experience, last for years and years, many of which will be with me throughout my journey to the very end. And that it when you get it, when you really truly get it about this working the net while you're networking, you create, I say, you're not just building wide, but more importantly, you're building deep, right? You're putting in good roots that will serve you and allow you to serve tons of other people through those same doors of opportunity. So I'm so excited today to bring to this show my good friend and alum sister, Dr. Tandra Price. Tandra, because I was saying Tandra, and thank you, mnemonic device. I manifested that little catch right there that pulled me back to the real. See, it's that easy. Tandra Price. She's here. And man, y'all think I'm all over the place doing wonderful things and wherever we can find them and wherever they find us. This girl does the same thing. I usually read some kind of a bio or whatever, but I'm going to just give you a little bit about her. She is known far and wide as, get this, the networking ninja. So that means, you know what a ninja does? They crawl up walls and do all those flips and swing on chandeliers and stuff. Right. So she does that through the world of the murky, hard to navigate waters for many, known as networking, successful networking. And I want to just say at this point, I stress that successful, because you remember that show where I dumped that paper bag out where I had all those business cards I'd collected. It was like 3,000 of them. And I knew for every one I had given one. So I added that in. And how much money did I make from that bag of cards? Nothing. Not one red dime, right? So that's why I say pay attention today, okay? Tandra, she helps entrepreneurs implement networking strategies that help them generate business. That's how you make money, generate business. She's a speaker, she's a networking strategist, and she's also the founder of the Awesome Magazine and publisher of Tap In Magazine. You can also catch her on Talk to Talk. That's the number 2. Talk to Talk Me Tuesdays. Say that 25 times in Yiddish. I dare you. So anyway, we're going to get her in here because like the kids say, I can show you better than I can tell you. So she's a first timer. Be nice, all of you. You're like the equivalent of foodies. You sit up there. Who is she? Right. No, you know what we do. We put our hearts on the screen because it's our virtual way of applauding and saying welcome. So do that. But more importantly, put your heart into this illuminated conversation because you're going to be glad you did. Here she comes, Dr. Tandra Price. Okay. I thought I was fixing myself. Wait. That works on Zoom. If you're blurry on Zoom, you just close your camera, come back. Do I look blurry to y'all? Put in the comments. Blurry or no blurry? Wait, or not blurry. 12th grade education. So, public school. Wait, Tandra, I'm so excited you're here.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm super excited.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to dip out for a second or two and let you just say hello in your own way. Tell people where you are in the world and kind of fill in, if you would, some of the things I didn't in the intro. And then I'll come back in. We'll get started. How's that sound?
Okay, sound great.
I'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. I always have to start off with my favorite, indication of who I am, which is I am Tandra Price. I am known as the Networking Ninja. What you? I love it every time. I have been doing some amazing networking and entrepreneurship for over 20 years. I actually set up a lot of networking groups around the world, which is really amazing. What's making my networking group so unique is that we're talking about the juggles and struggles of what it takes to be in business and not just passing out business cards, because we know that networking is more than just passing out business cards. So right now, as of today, I have over 8 communities. I am an international speaker. I have a #1 selling book on Amazon, and I also have an amazing international magazine, which is called Tapped In. Our motto is each one promote one. We're looking to change the networking space, and we're going to be able to do this with a digital print. So that's a little bit about me.
I'm so excited. I wish I could quit looking at my blurry self. I'm going to rebuke it. I am. I'm rebuking it. Okay, so there's so much. So, okay, Networking Ninja, and I want to say, I was cleaning up some coffee because when you did that little move, you caught me off guard. It's like, dang, right. But boy, okay, she showed us, didn't she? Now, listen, I got a lot of stuff I want to cover. You live in Edmond, Oklahoma, right?
Yes, I live in the state of Edmond, Oklahoma, amazing tornado alley. But yes, I do live here.
So it's true the wind comes sweeping down the plain?
Oh my God, does it come sweeping? It comes swirling down.
Oklahoma. You guys lucky I got Louise Jefferson throat because I really bust into a number from Oklahoma. Don't remember it. I'm not kidding. I do. So now I want to hear first. Tell us about this leadership experience tour thing I saw in your social. What is that?
Yes, I'm telling you, it's an amazing speaking platform. I am one of the ambassadors of Sean Fair Leadership Experience Tour. If you have not been an opportunity to get on his stage, I highly recommend it. You get exposed to so many different people. But what happens here in this particular event is that you're actually getting the necessary things that you need in order to promote yourself that a lot of us entrepreneurs don't have. You get your speaker reel, you get thousands and thousands of pictures, but more importantly, you get the opportunity to tell your story to thousands of people worldwide.
Nice. So let's go to the networking epicenter, if you will, because networking meant one thing. I'm going to that intersection known as COVID, when COVID hit, and then everyone was on lockdown, but certain brands and businesses had to continue to move. In other words, i.e. pivot. How many of us can say we had to do that? Probably all of us. If you did, put it in the comments. I had to pivot. So let's start with, what have you seen people doing since COVID differently for successful networking, kicking it off?
Well, you know what? Networking, my thing was when COVID came, we could still shake hands virtually and still do business. But it wasn't really like we were pivoting. We were already moving into that direction. I think what happened when COVID came, it just made people more aware of how to use the resources that they had, that they weren't familiarly using. You know, a lot of us were so used to going to doing face-to-face coffee conversations, but you could do virtual conversations over the phone. But one of the things that COVID did, even for our business, I mean, it helped us to really spread more wide. You know, like you said, go deep, we went deeper. because we were able to build internationally. I mean, when we were doing everything locally, we would have, maybe 80, 100 people, come to our events. But now we were able to, expand our messages much wider, much deeper.
Exactly right. And one of the blessings that I count right up there at the top, all blessings are at the top, but that I wouldn't, I say it like that because it was something I probably would have missed had COVID not happened. And that was forcing me to learn a new way to be me. Because I'd been comfortable in, because I was a stage speaker. That was 80% of my money. I was on the road 6 to 7 months out of the year, which I did not relish. But I justified it by saying my speaking fee was not because of the content, because that's priceless, but it was because of the things you miss, not being with your family, all these kinds of things that there are not do-overs. There are no do-overs. So when COVID came, a lot of stuff I had to pivot and start creating new avenues of income using the same talents that I used to land on my stage opportunities. So let's talk about how you help people. You have all these communities. Talk about a couple of the main ones where are great starting places for people who are looking to get out of their shell, out of their comfort zone, or just meet some great people.
Well, let's talk about a couple of them. So I have one in Atlanta that's called ATL, and then I have one that's called Conversations Over Coffee, which is one of my popular ones. And what happens is, as amazing ladies come together, we come together maybe twice a month, and we really talk about the juggles and struggles of networking. Now, one of the things for me, networking was not, I didn't want my groups to be where you would just come in, hey, introduce yourself and, move to the next person. No, it was really about building relationships. But what happens is us being entrepreneurs, we can't do this thing by ourselves. We have to have a support. I call it our sister circle. We got to have that sister circle around us that pushes us to the higher levels. So when you come into the fold of our networking group, anyone can come. I don't care if you have multiple industries, because it's not about you telling us who you are. It's about how can we help you get to the next level? What are your problems? What are your struggles that you're going through that we can share collectively in a group to help you move to the next stage? Whether you're having problems, having objectives with a client that you wanted to get, but you couldn't get, maybe it was because something you said, maybe your, sales pitch or introduction pitch wasn't good. This is a place where you can come in, share that information with us and let us help you build on those particular skills.
Absolutely. Now, I know personally from my own journey, but then also within my coaching model, a big piece of it that people come to me for is to get those stage opportunities. So 80% of the population is what it's estimated to be, they struggle with, public speaking, that sort of thing. So let's take that same struggle and lay it on top of the art of networking, because I do believe networking is an art. So let's talk about the introvert, that person who's sitting there now going, yeah, but even when we could go out and do those things, I go, but I stand in the corner by myself. I don't know how to approach people. Do you have any tips on how to break the ice to get the ball rolling in a direction that is going to be of service to both or to all?
Yeah, I think you should network with a buddy at all times. You know what? A lot of times when we go into these particular scenes or even virtual in person, it's good to have someone with you. I always say when you go into a room, do a 365 panoramic view, because you got to know where everybody is in the room before you even start networking. The same thing when you're looking at virtually. When you're networking virtually, look at everyone that's on the screen who puts their picture on the screen. Now, right. Key one is because those that put their picture on the screen, visibility is so important. Those are the people that that are looking to network. Those that just have that, their picture there are saying, hey, I don't know, even if they're busy, it doesn't really matter because you took the time to jump onto that event. So you need to be visible and show your face.
Right.
So what I say is always a networking buddy, so sometimes, they could be an intro into you meeting someone else, whether that's virtually too. Here's a cool thing though with virtually though, because even if you have a networking buddy, you can exchange information, because say if there's a lot of people on the screen, you're not going to get to everybody. But if some of you take half of the screen, the other person take the next half of the screen, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you go to LinkedIn, to become their friend, to connect with them. Hey, I saw you at such and such event. Hey, let's connect. So, because we know within 24 to 48 hours, you've forgotten about anyway. But if you have something that they said on the screen that's so memorable, that
24 to 48 minutes. No,
yeah.
For me, sorry, it's 24 to 48 minutes. I'm going to just keep real. I can own mine. Right. I'm serious. I'll play with it. I do it right then and there. Let me just say what I love about, because I remember when I was on Talicia Berry's, she had a stream, and there was like 60, 70, 80 people on the right. And it was different for me because usually I'm the one running those for my groups, right? But I was a guest. So I was like looking around. If there was a picture or just a number on I didn't even pay attention really. But the people that were moving around, because I'm nosy, I'm looking all behind them, looking for clues, this and that. And you can kind of see, I bet they looking back. I think she's looking at me. Right. And then I started the private. I love that. You can.
You paused on us. But it's true what he's saying. When you know what, when you're on that screen, you want to make sure that you're paying attention and being focused. Like I had to just jump in because you paused a little bit.
That was Comcast. They own one. And I'm like, I'm gonna rebuke you too. They're gonna play around and get banished. That's what they're gonna do. So, but yeah, so talk about that. But here's another thing I learned from other people on there. Once I'm that guy. I have no problem saying, hey, you look interesting. I would love to hear more about your story. How about a virtual coffee? Or would you like to come on my show? Right? Then they say the same thing. But then I started seeing people that I started getting notifications instantly. Like you said, they just went to LinkedIn right there in the moment. And I was afraid to do that, Tandra, thank you, Jesus. Because at first I was like, well, is that me being rude, not being completely present to whoever is speaking at the moment? But then I had to think about it. Well, this is why she brought us here. She told me that, pay attention to who's there. There are a lot of great people there. And she's right. Tanya Wiley Brown ended up being keynote at my Power of We Symposium. James Cooley and I became really, Rhonda, everybody, Dr. Wall, you, and it's just a wonderful thing. So let's give some tips, if you could, Tandra, to people who feel like I just have trouble saying, hey, see me, here I am over here. What can they do that lets people know I'm interested in knowing you more?
Well, let's take it to a different stack. So what happens is when you come into networking, it's not about the sales pitch. It's just about the conversation. So when you come in, it's just like when you meet somebody for the first time, whether you're at a gas station, whatever, the first thing you're saying is hello. It's the very first thing that you can do is just say hello to somebody, and that will start the conversation. See, I think what happens is when we get into what we think networking, because remember, networking has been reinvented. But when we get into networking, we're always thinking about we have to pitch or sell, but that's not it. You're actually going into having an authentic conversation. Find some commonality. Find something that they like. What's something, the latest trends or topics that's going on that you can talk about? Because if you have the correct conversation, it will lead into who you are, what you do, and how can we connect for moving forward. And what happens is when you go into this thing like, oh my God, I got to go to this networking event, or oh my God, I got to go here and talk. I don't like talking to people. So what is the first thing I'm going to say? Well, you've already set yourself up to fail because you didn't go in trying to just have an authentic conversation.
That's a great pivot point right there. Because next I wanted to go into how important is it, Dr. Tandra, to have an objective for even being there? Because I'll give you an example. When I went to speak in Miami, I convened with what I believe to be greater than me, God, Jehovah, just fill in all the names. And I said, give me a number and I'll find them. And they gave me the number 3. And so I went in like all these people. I wonder who the 3 are. And the first person that walked up and was in my phone like 20 seconds later is today a coaching client. The person who avoided me the whole time said he was scared because he thought, I said, I've seen you. You got gifts. And I knew you could see you'd be able to see what was going on in me. So I was avoiding you. Today as a coaching client, but we met at the end, out at the corner, because he looked so, it's so back to my initial throw in there. How important is it to have an objective? When I go, my goal is to meet 2 people or to be of service to 5 people or to just drop off some whatever.
Well, here's where we go. We're building up a resource bank. So when you're networking, you're not networking for yourself. You're networking for the next person. So, your objective when you go into like, okay, let me who are my clients? And if I'm at this event, what are the resources here that my client can need? And those are how you want to start your networking process, because you don't want to go in networking for yourself. How do you be that one-stop shop for your client? Well, you have to be able to build your resource bank. That's what I call, you dump all your resources, whether it's realtor, financial, whatever it is that that's a part of your portfolio. How can you service your clients? How can you be of more value to your clients? How can you give your clients what they need? Well, when you go networking, you're networking for them, not for yourself.
That's a huge piece.
So when we do that, we have to think about it that way.
I'm asking myself out loud right now, and I know y'all are too. Keep it real. I'm like, why did I never say that to myself? I never looked at it that way. So, wow, that changes the game up, doesn't it?
It does, because we want our clients to be repeating clients, constant clients. But you know what? If you're not serving them, guess what? They're going to go get served someplace else.
That's
so
right.
While you're out doing what you're doing, why not collect the information that you need anyway?
Right. So let me ask you this. This is directly to you. What do you do? But when we, you might do it different now since COVID, but what kind of tricks do you use? Because I went through the whole stage of folding the business card in half so that when you get home, that was somebody you want to really follow up with. I've done the thing where take a picture with them and, here, let me send it to you so I get their number and get them in my phone. What kind of tip? And that one works. And I love that, because then when I am setting up the discovery call or whatever is next, I actually have a visual so that I'm not like, who is that again? Right. Nothing worse, in my opinion, than sitting waiting for someone to come on your screen for a virtual coffee and you can't even remember where you met them or nothing, So what do you got for tips?
So my tip would be one, listen. So when I'm actually networking with someone, I'm actually listening. But what I do is I immediately put them in to to what I call a follow-up, a real quick follow-up. I immediately either send them a text. I do three things. I send them a text, I do Facebook, and I do LinkedIn. I send it all at the same time. And I say, hey, it was nice meeting you at such and such. You know what? I can't wait to hear more about, if they were a Dodger fan or something like that, because I'm listening to the conversation so they know that we have something memorable that what he said or she said. So I automatically do those three off the bat right quick. And then I will move on to the next one. But here's my thing is I don't go into a room trying to, do mass networking. I'm only looking for select, I'm only going to do like maybe 4 or 5 people at the most, because there's no way that you're going to be able to network with all those people. But if you get at least 4 or 5 people, hit them with those 3 links automatically right off the bat, even before I leave a networking event, whether I have to do it in the elevator, in my car, I do it immediately. Because I want to make sure that, hey, guess what? I'm looking forward to talking to you next Tuesday or next Wednesday. I always give them 2 options, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I give them an option so they can pick whatever day. So then I know that I'm going to get a follow-up, a response either through Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn, or text.
Perfect. A lot of things go along with that process. Follow up and fill in. But when we return from this very brief break, I would like to address this. How, Dr. Tandra, would you suggest that we go about becoming and then remaining in these networking situations unforgettable? How do we make sure we don't go in file 13 20 seconds after? So we'll get to that and some more questions. Drop yours in the comments. Now's a great time to share out this experience. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Don't you dare go away.
Networking is and always has been the cornerstone of business since we know it. In fact, it's a cornerstone of business in terms of the ability to connect and interact with human beings, with each other, to drive business. The thing is that adage, it's not what you know, it's who you know, has significantly more weight than ever before in this 21st century world of busyness. A world where jobs are being taken before they're even being advertised, where collaborations are almost popping up out of the woodwork every day and taking us by surprise, where the reality is that every single one of us is having to ideate, is having to innovate, is having to remain relevant and be relevant in a world that's constantly changing. And so the reality is we can't do that on our own. We can't be agile. We can't move quickly enough. We're unable to come up with innovations on our own. We need people around us. It's impossible to be successful alone. So those of you that think you can do it alone, it's absolutely rubbish. We need to have people around us. We need to make sure we network, but the key is networking effectively, networking in a way that is adding value to you and the people that you're working with, networking that's adding value to your thinking, your mastery, your expertise, and ultimately networking that's going to future-proof yourself, your career, and your business. There is no doubt in my mind that networking absolutely still matters in this busy, volatile, uncertain world in which we're living in. But the most important thing is, who are the people around you? What is the network of you that you are building to guarantee your future success?
Wow. I loved that.
That's good
future
juice.
proof.
Mm-hmm.
So you agree, Dr. Tandra?
I 100% agree. I mean, again, like, we can't do this by ourselves. For me, I put a different spin on it because, how can we help someone else? How can we give back? And that's a part of that group, how you come in and we share the juggles and struggles of what it takes to be in business. We know we have to network. We have a reason why we started what we're doing, but we have to make sure that we're doing it effectively. Who are we talking to? Who are we getting our message out to? And more importantly, who is inside of our network? That's that sister circle. Who's inside of there that can help you, that can push you, that can give you different resources, who can pull out of their resource bank that can help you. And that's how we have to look at it. But I think networking, it has to be that conversation. I think we can't go into the mindset of, networking how it used to be, because it's not that way. Just like she said, I mean, things are changing. The world is changing.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to change with that. And your conversation has to change. It can't be the same. There's tons and tons of books out there and resources out there that talk about, it's all about how you approach somebody. It's all about how you continue the conversation. It's all about how you build the relationship. How are you really doing that? But if you go in pitching or trying to sell, you're going to lose every time.
You're absolutely right. Ringing the bell, y'all. So let me ask you this one. And then I want to get into your magazines, if we could.
Mm-hmm.
But before we swing around that corner, what about people who we have our what people refer to as a golden Rolodex, right? Our resources, our relationships. And I'm not that way, but I know a lot of people are. They're very resistant they keep their cards close to the vest, because especially if you're in the same genre, the same niche as someone, well, why would I turn them on to my connection? And it's like, and I always go to the go-to, which I believe, because I reach for the promises first. Nobody can take my blessings, and I can't take anyone else's. So I don't hold it. I look for doors of opportunity that have turnstiles for as many people as God books on this journey to come through. I believe I'm Captain Stubing. I run the Love Boat, but God is Julie McCoy. I leave all the booking of the passengers to God. So tell me about that, though. Is that a struggle for some people when you're face to face with someone you just met, and man, she has a great nonprofit. I should connect her with Dr. Tandra. She might want to feature her on her cover. But wait a minute, I'm trying to get a cover with Dr. Tandra. What if she takes my spot? Oh no, I better not even mention Dr. Tandra.
Well, you know what? I feel like you miss so many opportunities because you don't understand the concept of collaboration. Again, like the video said, we can't do it by ourselves. You have to have collaborating partners. You can't, you just can't be in that mind frame. That's not the networking mind frame to say that, hey, I'm not going to give you somebody because I feel like, it's going to mess up my chances. It could even enhance your chances. We're not in this thing for competition.
Right.
We've already won. I tell people, you've already won.
Yes.
So you're not in competition. So every time
anything but time.
Right. Every time you give a referral to somebody, just think how more valuable you are in making yourself and position yourself in the marketplace.
And the manner in which you bless others is exactly how you gonna get blessed.
Right. So, but here's the thing, you give because that's what we're here to do, is to serve. And you give because you give.
Yeah.
And everything else will just come folding. You don't realize how many blessings or how many doors have been opened just because, listen, I'm like, come on, Dr. Harris show. I'm a God. I met so many amazing people. This would be really good for your business. I mean, I'm talking it up.
Right. Exactly.
And then that, guess what, will open up another door because I was able to say, hey, guess what? Here's a referral. And the more referrals you get, the more business that you get.
Amen. Good morning, Dr. James Cooley, country boy to city boy. He's here today. Also, I don't know where you are, Facebook user, but great Wednesday to you as well. And thank you for that blessing you poured out on us. And to the rest of you, I see you. Hi, Robert in Canada, and all the rest of you watching from all over the world. Listen, I wanted to kind of turn the corner for a moment, and let's get to your magazine. Talk about you, because I saw in the research quite a few different looks and things. For instance, oh my goodness, this cover's gorgeous. Look, you guys. See, we just have to do this. Talk about this magazine. Who's it for? How did you find your way into this? And just lay it on us.
Yeah. So I've been in, like I said, in the networking industry for over, 20 plus years. And one thing I found, even in my networking groups, that again, people were not taking the concept of networking and helping promote other people. So I said, guess what? I'm going to change the networking space, and I'm going to do this through this magazine. Now, not only are we doing speaking engagements, but it's like, how do we still distribute our message? How do we get our message to the masses? Well, guess what? We're going to put everybody on the front cover, give them an article, and everyone is going to be able to promote everyone, because we know once you get on the front cover that you're going to promote yourself. Yourself. And I purposely don't put you in the front of the magazine. I put you somewhere in the back of the magazine, because I want someone to go through the magazine and to look at the amazing people. So not only do we have our women's issue, but we have our men's issue, which is called Hidden Figures.
What?
Hidden Figures is an issue. Yes, it's an amazing issue that we just launched, but the Hidden Figures is for men who are doing some amazing things in their community that people don't really know about. That can be other people. We launched our very first men's magazine. We had some ex-boxers on there. We had some people that were in the athletic field. That was just amazing. And just the response that they got. I mean, some of those people that have not even been in the circuit, I mean, they start getting speaking engagement, podcasters. I mean, now they're speaking on different stages because they had a message within their story that people needed to hear, but was an inspiration to others. So anyway, we did that to change the networking space, and it's just been phenomenal. We've been going on over 2.5 years in our magazine. We have over 350,000 online distributions. We are international. I mean, we're always featured. We've been featured in over 400 news media outlets. So we're actually getting the exposure. So when you become a part of that magazine, we're going to promote you just as we would do any other person in the magazine.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out a way to trick you into thinking we were cousins. How can I convince her? I love that cover. And talk about women of dignity.
Yes. Now, Teresa, this is a different magazine, but Teresa has also been in our magazine. She's been in our Leadership Experience magazine. Here's the cool thing about the magazine is that we partner up with some of the amazing leadership teams. And because we've done that, they're still able to take their message from the stage to the magazine to our podcast session. So, I mean, we keep getting you in front of people in your audience, target audience worldwide.
That's it. I love it. That's exactly the model I have for my coaching. You do the work, we'll provide the stages. Now, because I believe, Doctor, Tandra, tell me what you feel. But I just know for a fact that most people do better when they're not just building and learning and growing.
Uh-oh, he paused on us again.
See, he tweeted. That's what I call them negative things. Don't be, come on, play in here if you want to. But Van almost cussed. So anyway, I almost did. So, but I believe that when you have something that you're working for that is solid, it is tangible, you find that it adds a lot of joy and anticipation to the journey, but it also gets you out of some dark times because there's something in front of you. But more importantly, I feel that we find out things about ourselves because you got to get it done. Like you said, we are not in competition with each other, you guys. We're only in competition with time, because that's the only racer that has beat every human. Can I get an amen? There it is.
That's it. Yeah.
So okay, we got 3 minutes before we're gonna go to some Wichita, Kansas trivia, which I dug up, and then we'll come back around. So what would you say, Dr. Tandra, is what part of what you do brings you the greatest inpouring of joy? In other words, we're always looking for those things. Earmark them, name them, put them someplace where they're safe. Don't throw them in a junk drawer, is what I'm saying. And what I'm speaking to are those things in our journey that allow us to say, my cup runneth over, because you don't want to wait to acknowledge it and celebrate it until my cup ranneth out. So what is the thing? What is the thing that brings you the greatest amount of joy behind what you do, that passion?
You know what? What brings me the greatest joy is when I see people win, and they win through what we've learned together, the journey that we've been together. And I see them winning at, higher stages. I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, I've started with people who, I'm just going to say, had maybe an idea. And I'm just going to give a quick example. When I very first started my networking group, Conversations Over Coffee, I had an amazing lady who came to my event. Now, take in mind, I had sent tons and tons of invites out, but only 3 people, this is my very first time, only 3 people showed up. This particular lady showed up because she loved my invite. But more importantly, when she came in, I said, okay, these 3 ladies are coming. I'm going to pour everything I have into these ladies, everything. So that particular day, I poured everything into I had. She said at the end, she said, I'm so glad I came to this event. To this day, she wanted to open up an art gallery when we talked. To this day, she has finally opened her art gallery. Today, she's selling thousands and thousands of paintings. And she's still one of my clients today, based on everything. I mean, that's like, you can't, I mean, that's a feeling, an unbelievable feeling to say, hey, guess what? We started here, now we're there, now you're going even higher, and we've made connections along the way. That's a blessing by itself, to know that that you're doing the right thing.
And what I love about the whole thing, the networking, and because if you're a Bible believer and that sort of thing, then fellowship it's networking. That's the reason. But I believe too, you don't want to just fellowship any old where. You gotta check out the club. They had any shootings lately? You know what I'm saying? They
make sure your audience is there. That's for sure.
Right, because I believe in sacred spaces, and so don't just run into any old dance thinking it is for you. You talk to people.
Not every event is your event. Right. You got to do your research. Find out who's there. Find out who the hosts are. Do some research. Look, we got this thing called the internet. We can Google, we can search, we can do your research before you go to an event, because you may not supposed to be at that event.
Exactly.
You're wasting your time at that event when you could be at another event that's really more effective.
Exactly. And that's why, because I had a couple clients when they came to me and I had to tell them, go one more time and don't come back with some opportunity. I'm done with you. You were getting put off the arc, because they were turning into network groupies.
Yes.
Just going to be seen, not getting any content, not thinking about their brand, their persona. Let me get this footage or these flicks while I'm here. I can make a great meme, put a great message on this beautiful message from God that is known as the sunset, so on and so forth. So, okay. Well, I know you've been kind of worried about this next part, but here it comes. Have a blessing, you all. Trivia. If you guys know any of these answers, go ahead and drop them in the comments, but I doubt it because I dug deep for these. So I'm going to ask you some trivia that is a part of where you hail from, Wichita, Kansas. So first question, Dr. Tandra, you know that Wichita is the capital of something in the world.
Well, you know what? It's Dorothy land for sure. Click your hands out feet. I want to come back home.
So what is the official? I'll give you a clue. 3-letter word. It is the blank capital of the world. 3 letters.
Well, give me one of the letters.
How does Dorothy get from Kansas to Oz?
Yellow Brick Road.
Through the air.
Oh, Lord.
I know. See?
Okay, listen. Okay, you gonna give me these kind of trivia.
Wow. Look, it's the air capital of the world.
It's the air capital of the world. Okay.
I mean, I get Big Sky Country from Montana, but the air capital of the world. Okay, I'm gonna look deeper into that one. So it is also the birthplace of a couple international food chains that I'm sure most of us have been to, one or at least both of these. Do you know what those 2 food chains are that were born in Wichita?
No, I don't.
Are you ready? See, Pizza Hut.
You give me questions I can't answer.
I just assumed you'd know, but that's what the 4th agreement or the third one of those agreements tells us in the 4 agreements. Don't assume. So Pizza Hut and White Castle.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't know White Castle, but Pizza Hut, yes. They have the national headquarters there.
Okay. They were born there. I would have thought White Castle, because it's so big here in Illinois, I would have thought it was ours, but clearly not. Okay. There is, I'm triggered by just seeing this word on my paper. Because when I was little, my grandmother used to make me eat it when I had a cold. You know them black grandma. Yeah, swallow this. So there is a rub for when people are sick with colds and chest stuff that was discovered in your town, Wichita, Kansas, in 1894 by a gentleman known as A. Hyde. Do you know what that salve is?
It went deep. No, I'm gonna say vapor rub, but that ain't it.
No, worse, mentholatum.
Oh Lord, you went that real old school. Mentholatum, yes.
My grandma used to squeeze it out of that tube or go in that green. It was green. I can tell you, she'd be like, eat this. I'll be with Vicks. Then my mom, she got a little better. She only made us eat Vicks. What is that with black moms making us eat stuff that's a topical? Right? And last one. There's a nickname for Wichita. Do you know what it is?
There's a nickname for Wichita?
Yeah. I didn't even know you could do that.
Well, no, I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. From a Disney song, a Disney show, a Disney cartoon, Zippity.
Doodah?
Doodah. She got one.
I got like one.
Yeah. Doodah is the nickname of Wichita, Kansas.
Look, you did some really good research on those.
Thank you. I know. I was like, my goal is to stump them. Y'all already know. Plus, I have to get that way because when I do trivia with them and they win, I have to send out a gift card.
Oh, okay.
I ain't trying to do that. I'm kidding. Love y'all. So listen, let's talk about where people should go to continue the dialogue. Now you've got a lot of stuff out there, but let's talk about this one. This is I got to get my pen. I've dropped. So Tap In Magazine. Can they download there? How does that work? Or what about people too? Hit this one while you're in there. What about people that say, I wonder if she lets people contribute articles or things like that? Can they submit stuff?
Absolutely. So we do, we're looking for contributing writers, looking for people who want to place ads. So yeah, just go to tapinmagazine.org. You can connect with me. You can, if it's something that you're looking to get more visibility for your business and brand, like you're more than welcome to, to join us for our next issue, which is going to be in October. So check it out. Okay.
October's the next one, you guys. Get it while it's hot. Now, what about the groups? Can you? I don't think I have the links for any, but I do have your Facebook page. But
yeah, you can always go to our Facebook page. Conversations Over Coffee. We do it twice a month. We do it on a Thursday. And it's from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. Hey, grab your favorite cup of coffee, bring some conversation with you. And we have amazing topics. You're going to meet some amazing ladies. And we talk about everything from, I don't know, can I say the rooter to the tutor, but we talk about everything.
Yeah.
We talk about everything that pertains to your business. Listen, I'm a big person. The fourth quarter is coming up. We got to get our receipts. What's holding you back? What's stopping you? Bring your conversation to the table.
There you go. Bring it. Right now. Corporate, that sort of stuff. I know you dabble in that world as well, right? What do you have for people that work within the corporate sector?
So right now, I'm getting ready to get started up with our LinkedIn boot camp. So like, if you don't have your LinkedIn profile together, please come to our networking boot camp. I'll be able to put that on my page as well. So you can definitely check into that. Another thing for corporate is our speaking engagements. Again, I am the ambassador for the Leadership Experience Tour. We have our October tour coming up. And we also have our March tour coming up. So if you don't jump in for October, you can definitely jump in for March. Guys, it's time for us to get our message out there. It doesn't do any good just sitting on the shelf. Let's monetize the message.
I know you want
to tonight. Let's monetize this thing we got going on.
Exactly. Don't be afraid of that. Scared money don't get money, y'all. And
I love that.
It's true. You've lived the road to it. So get to it. So I want to explain. I know you saw me starting to grin when you were talking, because when you said getting ready, I said, she knows she wanted to say fitna. I'm getting ready to launch. I'm fitna. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think we should bring fitna back.
Listen, it's that old country talk in me,
me too. I miss it, and I love it when somebody, especially with my nieces and nephews, when they're trying to explain themselves to me, because I'm too old of a cat to be licked by a kitten. So they're always like, "See, Unc, what happened was that don't ever
what happened was, yeah,
a lie coming." So just like when grandmama go, mm-hmm. When they say to something you said, they saying lying ass. Right. I already know. I don't know how I got off on that tangent, y'all. But listen, I want to go through. Here's Dr. Tandra's Facebook page. Do you want that on there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because it's such and your Instagram is probably the bomb, because you have such great content. It just pops off the page.
I love LinkedIn. I am just a LinkedIn junkie. I feel like everybody should be on LinkedIn, because that's where the decision makers are. I mean, I get most of my business from LinkedIn. So that's why we're doing that LinkedIn bootcamp.
Do you know Tawana? A LinkedIn professor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, she's an alumni. Okay. Wow. So talk about that, because myself included, I'm doing better with LinkedIn in the last 2 years. But when I was getting started, I felt like I do at the health club when I see all those swimmers. I'm in there doing weight stuff, but those swimmers, they seem like they're the elite. They come out all shapes and sizes. They got a command present strut, and people in LinkedIn can be intimidating to others, because I don't have a degree, or I don't own a business or a nonprofit. I'm not in corporate. Talk about why that is not the way to think.
It's not the way to think. You know what? Looks like we've been talking about networking all this time. LinkedIn is networking. Your conversation starts from your profile. And as long as we get your profile where people are interested in you and make it sound real good, then that's where you're going to start. Listen, you're going to be at the top of the chain. You're not going to be intimidated, because we're going to make it look so good, sound so good. We're going to get everything that you need on that LinkedIn profile. That's really where the conversation starts. It doesn't go anything past that. If you ain't got no banner, you ain't got no nothing. I mean, people are looking like, okay, she's not really interested. She's not really interested in promoting her business, because you got to get it up there. Yes, you have to get it up there.
I wanted to show everybody how powerful, because let's real quick. You see this banner? Same as on any of your socials. To me, this is your curb appeal. This is pride of ownership. This is when cars slow down and look at your Christmas lights. It's the beginning of an experience. Right or wrong, doctor?
It is. I mean, this is where people get to know who you are. So everything else that falls, really, I'm telling you, people don't go past that intro part really, because what you have in that block should be enough for them to understand who you are, what you do, and how you can connect with them. See, here's the thing about it is they're looking for what you do, how you can change their life, and then how they can get access to it. And you have to be able to demonstrate all that in the front part of your LinkedIn profile, whether they go down to the bottom of it or not. Sometimes they really don't. And here's the thing, LinkedIn's always changing. You know, it's algorithms just like Facebook and all that stuff, but they do a lot of changing within their spectrum. So, you know, what you think is important, they'll move it up in different spectrums on your profile.
Absolutely correct. You guys, scrolling along the bottom, you'll see is the tapinmagazine.org. Man, I wanted to get in how your nonprofit aspect, but that means you got to come back.
Yeah.
You guys, did you notice she had 16,500 followers on LinkedIn? Well, I think that's enough to say she knows what she's doing. So reach in, continue the dialogue, ask the questions that need to be asked.
Yes.
You guys, all these different avenues are there for all of us to, like I say it all the time, your story is what will be left, not your fingerprints, not your DNA. Your story is what the world will find thousands of years from now, but only if you leave it. So I wanted to just get that in there. Dr. Tandra, final thought. What do you want to leave people with? It can be whatever's on your spirit today.
You know what? What I would like to do, I would like to really, if I can, just throw out for my daughter. My daughter actually just got her first movie on Tubi. It's called Homeless or Right at Home. If you
Start that over. Cletus tried to cut it off from him. What would you like
if you can go out, and we're talking about supporting. I just want to leave a final thought. Go out, please, and support. Let's support one another. But if you can go out and support my daughter, she is a 24-year-old. She just launched her first movie. It is called Homeless or Right at Home. It is now streaming live on Tubi. If you guys can go and watch it and check it out for her, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I have Tubi. And you say the names again.
The name of the movie is Homeless or Right at Home.
Oh.
Yes.
That's awesome. You guys got it? Will you drop that in the comments?
Yes, I will.
And
please check it out.
Yeah, please check it out. Listen, you guys, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy life to come today to help fulfill one of the greatest promises available, the one that guarantees us that when two or more of us comes together with the same heart set, mindset, soul set, wonderful things happen. We call it spiritual magic, right? So thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys get out today and be the very best version of yourself. Remember, God doesn't make a single mistake. He merely keeps it interesting. I'll see you down the road, Dr. Tandra. Thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, God willing, right out front on the front porch as we together have another illuminated conversation right here on Bathrobe Moments. Be the blessing. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.